Hare Krishna. My humble obeisances to all the ISKCON Columbus devotees. Today we will discuss on an important theme, how to be Krishna conscious. That's what I was asked by the devotees here. Yeah, the purpose of life is to be Krishna conscious, to develop Krishna consciousness. And the essence of all the scriptures is to develop Krishna consciousness. As we know this popular shloka, स्मर्तव्यः सततं विष्णो विस्मर्तव्यो न जातुचित् सर्वे विधि निषेधास्य एतयोर एव किंकरः. Always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna. These two instructions are the essence of all the prescriptions and prohibitions in all the Vedic scriptures. Sarve vidhi nishedhasya etayaro eva kinkaraha. The two prominent instructions of all Shastras is always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna. In the Bhagavad Gita, as we know, there are 700 shlokas. These are divided into 18 chapters. First 6 chapters primarily talk about Karma Yoga. Last 6 chapters highlight Jnana Yoga. And the middle 6 chapters talk about Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yoga is there in every particular chapter. Every single chapter of Bhagavad Gita speaks about Bhakti Yoga to some degree or the other. But the middle 6 chapters primarily focus on Bhakti Yoga. In that middle section, which is considered the essence of Bhagavad Gita, the middle 2 chapters, 9th and 10th chapters, they are the further essence. In that middle 2 chapters, the last shloka of 9th chapter, Manmana Bhava Madbhakto Madhyaji Mam Namaskuru. That's the further essence. Essence of the essence of the essence of the essence. Gita is the essence of all Upanishads. Sarvo Upanishadu Gavo Dogdha Gopala Nandanaha. All the Upanishads are compared to scriptures. Sorry, all the Upanishads are compared to a cow. And the essence of the cow, the milk, is Bhagavad Gita. And the essence of Gita is middle section. Essence of that is middle 2 chapters. Essence of that is Manmana Bhava Madbhakta Shloka. Right? So this is the most essential shloka where Krishna gives just 4 instructions to us. Manmana, always think of me. Bhava Madbhakto, become my devotee. Madhyaji, worship me. Mam Namaskuru, offer obeisances unto me. Simple instructions. And Krishna repeats these 4 instructions at the end of Bhagavad Gita again. Again he says Manmana Bhava Madbhakta Madhyaji Mam Namaskuru. Essence of the essence of the essence of the essence of Gita, of all scriptures, is to be Krishna conscious. Manmana, always think of me. Now, what does it mean to always think of Krishna? Krishna repeats it several times. So many times Krishna repeats. In the 7th chapter also Krishna said, Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mamanusmara yudhyacha mayyarpita mano buddhir mame vaishyasya samshayah. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu. At all times, mamanusmara, remember me. Yudhyacha, you do your yuddha also. Fight also. If you are always remembering Krishna at all times, where is time to fight? And if you have to fight also, how can you always remember Krishna? Emphasis is there. Always be Krishna conscious, always remember Krishna, do Krishna Smaranam. But there are some other practical constraints also where we are involved in so many other activities where we may not be able to remember Krishna always, moment by moment. Krishna also doesn't give an instruction which is impractical for a sadhaka. For a sadhaka, Tasmat Sarveshu Kaleshu is not at all moments, it is all days. Every day you remember me. May not be every moment, not practical. Every day you remember me. Sadhana. Every day you do some sadhana. Now coming back to this Manmana Bhava Madbhakta Shloka, Manmana means to remember Krishna always. Bhava Madbhakto, means to become a devotee of Krishna. If you are always remembering Krishna, are you not a devotee of Krishna? Why? These two have to be repeated. Manmana bhava bhakto. Two times it's mentioned. You always remember me and you become my devotee. If somebody is doing manmana, is he not madbhakto? The answer is that he can always remember Krishna. We can be 24 hours Krishna conscious without being a devotee of Krishna also. Devotees are always Krishna conscious, are supposed to be always Krishna conscious. But there are people who are thoroughly Krishna conscious, probably more Krishna conscious than devotees, with a negative emotion. Kamsa was 24 by 7 Krishna conscious with fear in his heart. Shishupal was 24 by 7 Krishna conscious with envy in his heart. Hiranyakashipu is thoroughly Krishna conscious with anger in his heart. Ravana, hatred in his heart. So many demons were more Krishna conscious than devotees. But their Krishna consciousness is characterized by their negative emotion. But a devotee's Krishna consciousness is characterized by a positive, loving, spiritual emotion. Although that emotion may not be constant, we may get sometimes distracted, or many times we get distracted, but still, whenever we remember Krishna, it's with a positive emotion. We don't hate Krishna. Yeah. You remember Krishna with anger, fear, hatred, negativity, that is also remembrance. You remember Krishna with love, affection, gratitude, that is also remembrance. Both are Krishna consciousness. But the recommendation given by Krishna is you be Krishna conscious in a favorable way, with a positive emotion, not with a negative emotion. Manmana bhava madbhakto. Therefore, bhava madbhakto has to be emphasized. Manmana, always think of me, but as a devotee, not as Shishupal, not as Kamsa, not as Hiranyakashipu, but as Arjuna, as Sudama, as Yashodamata, as Gopis of Vrindavan, as Gopas of Vrindavan. Be Krishna conscious. Then Madhyaji worship me, Mam Namaskuru, offer obeisances to me. So the main topic for today is this is just prelude, Manmana. We have brought the discussion to Manmana. But what does it mean to always think of Krishna? I have one statement from the commentary of Ramanujacharya. Manmana means Mai apara karunya saushilya saundarya madhurya gambhirya audarya vatsalya jaladhau nivishta manabhava. Manmana means you immerse your minds, you bathe your minds in 7 oceans of Krishna. Jaladhi means an ocean, that which contains water. Jaladhi is ocean. There are 7 oceans of Krishna. What are they? Apara. Apara means unfathomable oceans. We can't find its depth, we can't find its expanse. Shoreless oceans. Depth, you can't explore its depth. How deep is the ocean? You cannot figure out. Mai apara. Apara means unlimited oceans. What are the oceans? Karunya. Krishna is an ocean of compassion. Saushilya. Krishna is an ocean of good character. Karunya, Saushilya, Saundarya. Krishna is an ocean of beauty. Madhurya. Krishna is an ocean of sweetness. Audarya. Krishna is an ocean of benevolence. Extreme degree of compassion. And Vatsalya. Krishna is an ocean of affection. Fatherly affection towards his devotees. Bhakta Vatsalyata. And Gambhirya. Krishna is also an ocean of gravity. He can be very grave. That's the subject matter for our discussion till 12:30, right? No problem. I'll stick to timings. Manmana, Mai apara karunya, saushilya, saundarya. Karunya means compassion. Let's focus on this. Manmana means to immerse your minds or bathe your minds in these 7 oceans. The first ocean is Karunya Samudra, Karunya Jaladhi. Krishna is an ocean of compassion. What does it mean to bathe your mind in the ocean of Krishna's compassion? To think of Krishna's compassionate qualities and those pastimes in which Krishna has exhibited extreme degree of compassion. Karunya Samudra. One of the most exciting episodes of Srimad Bhagavatam, where Krishna's Karunya is displayed to a very great extent, is Putana episode. Putana came with a malicious intention to kill Krishna with poison applied on her body. Krishna saw Putana. For a moment he thought, oh, Rohini Mata came into my room. Rohini is Balramji's mother. Mother Rohini and Mother Yashoda both had almost equal amount of affection towards both Krishna and Balram. Both mothers consider both sons as their sons. So Krishna, who was hardly a few days old, he thought that Rohini Mata came for a moment. Then he realized, oh, this is not Rohini Mata. This is some Rakshasi who disguised herself as a motherly woman. Karunya Samudra. But still, she acted like a woman, acted like a motherly woman. She dressed herself like a mother. She has hidden her fierce Rakshasi form elsewhere, and she appeared like a woman. So Krishna thought, let me acknowledge her attire as a mother and actions as mother, but ignore her attitude as a Rakshasi. Generally, Krishna is Bhavagrahi Janardana, right? He doesn't get carried away by our externals. He focuses more on our internal bhava, our mood. But in this uh, episode, Krishna acted against his general tendency of bhavagrahi. He did not do bhavagraha. He did not accept her emotion. He only accepted her actions. She's acting like a mother, carefully lifting the child in her arms, carefully feeding her milk to the child, like a mother. So Krishna accepted her actions. And she also dressed herself like a mother. So Krishna accepted her attire, not attitude. Attitude is not like mother. So Krishna is desperate to show compassion. Krishna is desperate in showing mercy upon all of us. He's too desperate. He finds some reason, direct or indirect, to somehow or the other exhibit his compassion upon conditioned souls, even Rakshasis like Putana. अहोबकीयं स्तनकालकूटं जिघांसयापाययदप्यसाध्वी लेभे गतिं भ्रातृचितं ततोऽन्यं कं वा दयालुं शरणं व्रजेम. अहोबकीयं स्तनकालकूटं. That's Baki. Baki is Bakasura's sister. Aghasura's sister. Such a glorious family. We have Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra standing at the altar. Two brothers and one sister. Glorious family. But in contrast to that family, here two brothers and one sister. Bakasura, Aghasura and Putana. See what a contrast. So this Putana, Ahobakiyam, this Rakshasi, Stana Kalakotam, applied some Kalakota poison on her body. Jighamsaya, with a malicious intention. Apayayad api asadhvi. She fed milk to Krishna, poisonous milk to Krishna, asadhvi, very unchaste. There is no matching between her attire and attitude. Sometimes malicious people take the attires of genuine people, just like Indra. He was a devata. He has greed for his kingdom, for his position, for his record. He wanted to maintain his record as Shatakratu. Shatakratu means the only performer of 100 Ashwamedha Yajnas. And Prutu completed 99. He's about to break the record of Indra. How can he break my record? I have to maintain my record. He disguised himself as a sannyasi to steal the sacrificial horse of Prutu Maharaj. This attire of sannyasi, the saffron cloth, is accepted in a mood of detachment, or at least to cultivate the mood of detachment. But he accepted saffron cloth with attachment, with intense attachment in the heart. Right? He's attached to his throne, he's attached to his record, he's attached to his position as the king of heavens. And he saw Prutu Maharaj as a competitor. When somebody accepts saffron cloth, when somebody becomes a renunciant, there should not be any competitive tendencies. There should not be any malice or envy in the heart. At least one should endeavor for such a malice-less heart and non-envious heart. But Indra accepted the saffron cloth to steal the sacrificial horse, to interrupt the worship of another pure devotee, that is Prithu Maharaj. He knows it is wrong. Interrupting a sacrifice is wrong. In fact, he punished somebody who had stolen his horse earlier. Once, there was a person named Kumuda. He stole the sacrificial horse of Indra. Indra was trying to conduct a sacrifice, and this Kumuda came and stole his sacrificial horse, and he went somewhere else. Indra sent his soldiers and somehow identified that thief and brought him back, claimed his sacrificial horse, and cursed him. May you become a horse, because they have stolen my horse. And that horse became Keshi demon. Right? Indra knows what he's doing is wrong. And is correcting and punishing somebody who did the same mistake, but now he's repeating the same mistake. Is how life is, even amongst the devatas, what to speak of human beings. Anyways, Indra accepted a pure attire, trustworthy attire, with a malicious intention. Similarly, Putana also accepted a trustworthy motherly attire with a malicious intention. At least Indra took the robes of a sannyasi. Especially in Kali Yuga, many people who may be in renounced order may not be that pure. But mother, nobody doubts a mother, right? And Putana accepted the attire of a mother. And giving milk to Krishna means acting like a mother, literally, but with a malicious intention. So Krishna exposed that malice. He tried to suck away her milk along with her life aids and expose her deception. And he presented herself in this 12-mile long, hideous Rakshasi form. But Krishna did not stop there, just punishing Putana. He wanted to deliver her. Putana was given the position of a motherly nurse in the spiritual world. Jighamsaya paya yadapya sadhvi lebhe gatim dhatrichitam tatonyam tam vadayalam sharanam rajema. Who else could be more merciful than Krishna, who has given the position of a motherly nurse to a Rakshasi who came to kill him? Krishna had sent her to the spiritual world. Who else could be more merciful than Krishna? That's why he is Karunya Samudra. Padbhyam bhakta hridistabhyam vandyabhyam loka vanditaihi angam yasyaha samakramya bhagavanapi tatstanam yatu dhanyapi sasvarga bhavapa janani gatim Krishna bhuktasthana kshiraha kimugavo numataraha. Padbhyam bhakta hridistabhyam. All the devotees worship the lotus feet of the Lord within their hearts, meditate on the Lord's lotus feet, and even to get a glimpse of the Lord's lotus feet within one's heart is such a rare blessing. And Putana did not just get a glimpse of Krishna's lotus feet within her heart, and not just saw Krishna's lotus feet right in front of her eyes. Angam yasyaha samakramya. Putana got the embrace of Krishna. Krishna is embracing Putana. She's saying, leave me, leave me, leave me. Krishna is not leaving only. If Krishna embraces you, will you say, leave me? But Putana is saying, leave me, leave me. But he's not leaving. That's another interesting thing. Right. So when, please. Angam yasyaha samakramya bhagavanapi tatstanam yatu dhanyapi sasvarga bhavapa janani gatim Krishna bhuktastana kshiraha kimugavo nummataraha. If Krishna has given the position of a motherly nurse to a witch Rakshasi like Putana, what did he have in his store for all the cows of Vrindavan and gopis of Vrindavan who lovingly fed him milk without poison? Right? Nectar, milk that the cows and the gopis of Vrindavan offered to Krishna was a transformation of their motherly love. What is there for Krishna to give them? Krishna is Karunya Samudra. Clear? You remember what are we discussing? We are discussing Manmana Bhava Madbhakta Shloka. In that, we are elaborating on Manmana. What does it mean to always think of Krishna? Then we quoted the statement of Ramanujacharya, Mai apara karunya saushilya saundarya madhurya gambhirya audarya vatsalya jaladhau nivishta manabhava. In that, we are going step by step. 7 oceans of Krishna. First ocean is Karunya Samudra. Krishna is an ocean of compassion. And we just give the example of Putana. Any other examples where Krishna showed? Yes, Ajamil. Ajamil was so sinful. He was on the deathbed because he committed so many sinful activities with his body, mind, and words. 3 Yamadutas came to take him to hell. But Krishna did not allow that to happen. Somehow, by his good fortune, Ajamil had a small toddler son named Narayana. And out of anxiety, out of love and affection for his son, Ajamil was calling Narayana, 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 Narayana. That Narayana did not come. He's playing with his toys. Little kid. He cannot understand the emotions of his father. Sometimes we invest so much of love and affection in people who may not have the ability or intention to understand our emotions. We have so many emotions towards them, but they have no intention to reciprocate with the emotions, or they have no ability at least. They are not so developed. This little child, Narayana, he did not have the ability to understand his father's emotions, but father is dependent on him. When somebody is attacking you, you cry out for help. Will you cry out for someone who cannot help you at all? So he's doing that only. Narayana, Narayana, come here, come here. And what will Narayana do? He's a small kid. But that Narayana name is non-different from person Narayana. Although this child Narayana did not respond, person Narayana responded. He said, Narayana. This Ajamil chanted 4 syllables of my holy name. Therefore, let me send 4 Vishnu Dutas to protect him, to rescue him. So he descended. This is the mercy of the Lord. Karunya Samudra. Although Ajamil did not address the Lord found some reason. Oh, there in Putana's episode, although Putana did not have the intention of a mother, at least she presented herself like a mother. She had the attire of a mother, attire matched. Therefore, let me show some mercy upon Ajamil on Putana. And here, although he did not intend to call the Lord Narayana, but the Lord thought at least my name matched. Their attire matched, dressing style matched, activities matched. Here, name matched. My name and his son's name are same. So sometimes in classroom, teacher is taking attendance, and 2 kids' name is same. So you utter one kid's name, another kid will say, yes, sir. Right? The proxy. The Lord said, at least my name is there. My name chanted. He didn't call you. That's okay. He chanted my name, right? It's my name, by the way. It's my name. It's not the kid's name. It's my name. That kid is not Narayana. I'm Narayana. Therefore, I'm the real Narayana. He's not the real Narayana. Let me go and respond. The Lord is eager and desperate to show his mercy. So, he is a Karunya Samudra. Mai apara Karunya. Second is Saushilya. Saushilya means Krishna is extremely courteous in his behavior. He's an ocean of good character. Saundaryam lalanali dhairya dalanam leela ramastambhini Viryam kandukitadri varya vamalat pare parardham gudah Sheelam sarvajanhanuranjanamaho yasyayamasmat prabhu Vishwam vishwajanina kirtiravata Krishno jaganmohanah. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Vrindavan, he saw 2 parrots in Vrindavan. One parrot was glorifying Lord Krishna, another parrot was glorifying Srimati Radharani. The male parrot Shuka spoke this shloka which I just chanted. In this shloka, the male parrot is saying, Saundaryam lalanali dhairya dalanam leela ramastambhini. It takes a lot of time to discuss this shloka, but I'll just focus on the main line here. Saushilya. Krishna is an ocean of good character, right? In regards to that, the male parrot is saying, Sheelam sarvajanaanuranjanamaho yasyayamasmat prabhor. Sheelam, Krishna's Sheelam, Krishna's character is sarvajana anuranjanam. Is very appealing to all categories of people. Sometimes even demons also get impressed seeing Krishna's character. When Krishna went to Dwarka after visiting Hastinapur, he went and offered obeisances to his mother, Devaki. And Devaki had 17 co-wives. Vasudeva had 18 wives. All the 17 co-wives of Mother Devaki are the stepmothers of Krishna. And Krishna gave all the 17 ladies equal respect the way he respected his mother. Etiquette. Saushilya. Yudhishthira Maharaj is a devotee of Krishna, but Yudhishthira is an elder cousin of Krishna. And Krishna is not a king. Krishna is king, of course. He is Rasaraj, king of all Rasas, but in the manifest pastimes in this world, Krishna is not acting like a king. He is a prince in the Yadu dynasty. Krishna is just a prince in the Dwaraka city. The king is Ugrasena Maharaj. But Yudhishthira Maharaj is the king of Indraprastha. Later he became the king of Hastinapur. So a normal prince, how he is supposed to deal with a king? That's etiquette. So Krishna considered himself as a prince, normal prince in Yadu dynasty. And he gives so much of respect to Yudhishthira Maharaj. Although Yudhishthira is giving respect to Krishna and offering Rajapuja, Agra Puja and Rajasuya sacrifice, but Krishna is having so much etiquette. Whenever he meets Yudhishthira Maharaj, he falls at Yudhishthira Maharaj's feet seeking his blessings. This is Krishna's etiquette, Saushilyata. And also, in Indraprastha, in the Rajasuya sacrifice ceremony, Krishna came in a chariot, Yudhishthira Maharaj also came in a chariot, and both reached the destination, and naturally, king's chariot is in front. Yudhishthira Maharaj was about to get down from his chariot. Krishna very hastily got down from his chariot and ran towards Yudhishthira Maharaj's chariot and opened the door, and then offering his hands to welcome Yudhishthira Maharaj. This is the etiquette that Krishna shows. Saushilya Samudra. And there are many such instances where Krishna's good etiquette is very nicely depicted in the pastimes of Bhagavatam and many other places. Whenever Brahmanas come to Krishna's abode, he would receive them with so much of love and affection, so much of respect towards Brahmanas. Rukmini Devi's messenger came, Brahmana. Krishna received with so much affection. Also, Sudama. Krishna was treating Sudama Brahman as if he would treat his elder brother Balaram. This is Saushilya of Krishna. Mai apara karunya. First ocean is Karunya Samudra. Krishna is an ocean of compassion. Second, Saushilya. Krishna is an ocean of good character. Karunya Saushilya. Third is Saundarya. What to speak of Krishna's Saundarya? How beautiful Krishna is. Lord Brahma glorifies Krishna's beauty. He says, Naumidyate bravapushe taditambaraya gunjavatam saparipichhala sanmukhaya vanyasraje kavalavetra vishana venu lakshmashriye mridupade pashupangajaya. Naumi idyate abravapushayo. Krishna, you are so beautiful. You have the complexion of a dark monsoon cloud. Tadit ambaraya, your cloth is just shining like lightning. Gunjavatamsa, you have this Gunjamala. Krishna is not wearing some kind of pearl necklaces or very expensive ornaments. Simple Gunjamala. Gunjamala you'll find in forest, you'll find small seeds, black and red seeds with little white dot. So Krishna is wearing that. Gunjavatamsa paripichala sanmukhaya. His face is also resplendent with a peacock feather. Not having a very expensive ornament on his head. Simple peacock feather. Very natural. Vanyasraja, he is wearing a simple forest flower garland. Kavala, simple curd rice. Vetra, small stick in his hand, not holding any weapons. In Vrindavan, Krishna doesn't hold any weapons at all. He began getting some weapons only in Mathura city. Jarasandha came to attack him. Otherwise, no weapons. Paripicha lasanmukhaya vanyasraje kavala vetra vishana venu. Krishna is also not holding some um, elaborate musical instruments. He has no kartal, he has no mridanga, he has no, what is that, tabla, veena, guitar, violin. He doesn't have all these weapons, all these musical instruments. Simple flute, a bamboo stick with some holes in it, that's all. What musical instrument can a 3-4-year-old kid can play? See, you see the picture there? You see the picture? 7-year-old Krishna, 3-year-old Krishna. Just now took charge of all the calves of Gopashtami Day. Simple attire. You cannot give a veena to a 3-year-old boy. Just give a little stick and he will just play like this. So the simple attire of Krishna is so appealing, and so much so that Brahma personally says that this is the topmost manifestation of the absolute truth. Vanyasraje Kavalavitra Vishana Venu Lakshmashriye, this little cowhead boy form of Krishna in Vrindavan is the abode of all opulences. Lakshmashriye Mrudupade Pashubangajaya. Here appearing as a cowhead boy, not considered a very great profession from a material perspective, but this is the topmost manifestation of absolute truth. This is the supreme form in the spiritual world that is the origin of many other forms. So many expansions, Vishnu Tattva expansions. So this is Krishna's form in Vrindavan. Saundarya Samudra. And there are hundreds of shlokas and episodes that describe the beauty of Krishna. Bhandire Shashikhanda Navara Shri Khandaliptangahe Vrindaranya Purandara Spuradamandendrivarashyamala Kalindi Priyanandanandana Paranandaravindekshana Shri Govinda Mukunda Sundaratano Mam Dhenamanandaya. Krishna's beauty is elaborately described in so many scriptures. Even his Varaha form is beautiful. Generally, hawks are not considered known for their beauty. Tortoises are not known for their beauty. His Kurmavatar form is also beautiful. His Vishnu form is beautiful. His Ram form is beautiful. Krishna form is beautiful. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's form is beautiful. Whichever form he takes is always beautiful. Right? Saundarya Samudra. How many oceans did we discuss? First, Karunya Samudra. Kaushilya. Saundarya. Sometimes people may be very beautiful. They're not that sweet when they speak. Right? Their speech may not be sweet. Their demeanor may not be sweet. They may look handsome. They may look beautiful. But their heart may not be so soft. Their interactions may not be so sweet. This is nature of this world. But Krishna is extremely beautiful and his interactions are very sweet. Everything about Krishna is sweet. Therefore, the fourth ocean is Madhurya Samudra. What is Madhurya about Krishna? Everything is Madhurya. Adharam Madhuram, Vadanam Madhuram, Nayanam Madhuram, Hasitam Madhuram, Gamanam Madhuram, everything is Madhuram. His walking is sweet, his talking is sweet, his speaking is sweet, his sleeping is sweet, his stealing is sweet, his strictness is sweet. Everything is sweet. Madhuraya gira valguvakyaya budhamanognaya pushkarikshana vidhikaririma viramuhyati adharasidhuna pyayanastana. So Madhuraya gira valguvakyaya. Madhuraya gira means Krishna's voice is so sweet. Sometimes people may have sweet voice, but the content is not sweet. Accent is sweet, but content is not sweet. Sometimes people may speak very good content, but their voice may not be sweet. But Krishna, both are sweet. Both are sweet. Madhuraya gira valgu vakyaya. His vakya, his words are very sweet. Madhuraya gira. Hare Krishna. His voice is sweet. His words are sweet. His statements, whatever he speaks, is very sweet. Budhamanognaya pushkarikshana. Budhamanognaya means even great advanced transcendentalists, scholars, philosophers, tattvavettas, they also become impressed by Krishna's speech. Wow, such a wonderful speech Krishna spoke. He completely captivates their hearts. It's not so easy to impress scholars or philosophers, but Krishna's speech can impress all philosophers. There is sweetness in his speech, there is logic and depth also in his speech. Bhagavad Gita, Krishna spoke 5000 years back, and still people are studying it. The most widely studied spiritual scriptures, spiritual literature is Bhagavad Gita, one of the most popular spiritual texts. Krishna's words are there. Madhuraya Gira, everything about Krishna is sweet. His form is sweet. His flute playing is sweet. Vedum Madhuram. That is fourth Samudra. What is that? Saundarya Samudra and Madhurya Samudra. Mayi Apara Karunya Saushilya Saundarya Madhurya Audarya. Actually, Gambhirya. Okay, let's begin with Audarya, not a problem. Sequence doesn't matter. Audarya means he's extremely benevolent. Krishna's benevolence is manifested to the highest possible extent when he becomes Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. As Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is so benevolent. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate. He is giving, he is offering the highest benediction of Krishna Prema even to the lowest person. Chirada Dattam Nijagupta Vittam Swaprema Nama Amritamatyudaraham. Apamaramyo Vitatara Gauraha Krishno Janebhyastamaham Prapadye. Chirada Dattam, for a long time he has not given this gift of Krishna Prema to people of this world. Nijagupta Vittam, his own secret transcendental treasure of Krishna Prema, has not bestowed for a long time, but now he is bestowing. Swaprema, through Nama. So you are getting the highest benediction of Krishna Prema through the simplest means of Krishna Nama. Goal is highest, topmost, exalted, and the means is very, very simple. Very simple. Chanting Krishna's names, not elaborate sacrifices, not elaborate austerities, not doing so many vrata, homa, yajna, nothing like that. Simple. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Simple. So that is benevolence. He is extremely benevolent in offering the highest boon to even to the lowest person. Therefore, he is Saundarya, he is Audarya Samudra. Next is Gambhirya. Krishna is very grave. Sometimes people may be sweet and beautiful, but they may not have gravity. They may not be very grave. They may not be very sober or calm or composed. They're sweet means they're like very jolly and happy, and then they are just they don't become serious at all. But Krishna can become very serious, by the way. Krishna can become extremely grave. When Arjuna said, I will not fight, Krishna said, Klaibyam masmagamaha partha naitatvai upapadyate kshudram hridaya daurbalyam chakta uttishta parantapa. He was chastising him very gravely. Initially he smiled. When Arjuna said, I am unable to figure out what is my duty, I am dharma sammodha chetaha, you please become my guru. I am your Sishya. Sishyaste ham swadhimam tam prapannam. You just accept me as your disciple. I will just accept you as my guru. Krishna smiled very sweetly. Very soon, he assumed a grave mood. Yes, I'm a teacher now. I'm not supposed to be silly. Till now, I was a friend of Arjuna. Later, I became a driver of Arjuna. I also acted as messenger of Arjuna. But now is the time to become guru of Arjuna. I have to speak very gravely. Then he spoke Atmagnana. Ashocyananva sochastam prajnavadamsya bhashase gatasum nagatasum cha nanu sochanti panditaha. So Krishna can assume a very, very grave mood. Gravity means somebody who is very grave, you cannot understand what's there in his mind. Brahma offered so many prayers to Krishna. No mediate Brahma we discussed. That's the beginning of a series of prayers. Brahma offered so many prayers after Brahma Vimohana Leela. Then Krishna did not respond. He did not speak a single word. What's there in Brahma's mind? What's there in Krishna's mind? Brahma could not understand. Brahma Vidhata can understand everything. He can understand the minds of all people in this world. He only has created them. but he could not understand what's there in the mind of 6-year-old Krishna. That is Brahma. That is the gravity of Krishna. Very grave. When Indra did a mistake, he created a devastating rainfall in Vrindavan, and Krishna lifted Govardhan mountain, protected Vrajavasis. He held the Govardhan mountain for 7 days and 7 nights, and after that, Indra came to say, "Sorry, I'm really sorry, Krishna. Krishna is very grave. You're supposed to be my servant. Behave yourself. Don't expect worship. Don't be proud. Don't be puffed up. Understand that whatever position you have is my offering to you." He is very grave in giving warnings also, but with love and affection. Therefore, he is Gambhirya Samudra. And finally, he is Vatsalya Samudra, seventh ocean. Vatsalya means affection. So much affection. Mother Suniti told her son Dhruva, "My dear child, I can offer you the affection of one mother." You know how affectionate a mother could be to her child. She can compromise on her own personal needs, her own sleep, her own eating, everything to show affection towards a child. But Krishna's affection is equivalent to the affection of millions of mothers put together. You see, mothers are affectionate to their children, but no mother can show as much affection to a child as much as Krishna can show. And especially when the child grows and able to stand on his own, mother need not show so much of affection. Child doesn't need so much of personal attention from the mother as the child grows. But every single soul, since time immemorial, for the rest of eternity, is in desperate need of Krishna's affection. So that Vatsalya, there is no diminution. It has to continue forever. It will continue forever. But even a mother's affection also is restricted to one lifetime. Right? There is a birth, and from birth the relationship begins. Before the birth, where was the child and where was the mother, and not much interaction. But suddenly, birth is that event, that moment that begins the relationship between the mother and the child, and it continues for a lifetime, and it ends. And after that, according to their karma, mother may take birth somewhere else, child may take birth somewhere else. But Krishna has parental affection towards all the living beings, all the jivas, forever, since time immemorial, for the rest of eternity. He's Aham Bija Pradah Pitah, Mamayivamsho Jiva Loke. His affection towards his part and parcel living entities is unlimited, and it's eternal, it's timeless. There's no beginning and there is no end in this relationship, right? So mother's affection is considered the purest form of affection in this world, and multiply that mother's affection with millions. That is Krishna's affection. Just to give us a glimpse. Therefore, he is Vatsalya Samudra, Bhakta Vatsalyata. Evam Sandarshita Yanga Harina Bhrityavashyata Swavashenapi Krishnena Yasyedam Seshwaram Vashi. Krishna is not just affectionate towards his devotees. A quality that is little higher than Vatsalya is Vashyata. He comes under the control of his devotees. That is Krishna's speciality. He came under the control of Mother Yashoda's love. And in other episodes outside Vrindavan, Krishna displayed so much of affection, Vatsalya, towards all his devotees. Uttara came running to Krishna, saying, "Pahi Pahi Mahayogin Deva Deva Jagatpati." And Krishna, out of his Bhakta Vatsalyata, he entered her womb and protected her son. Out of his Bhakta Vatsalyata, Krishna Krishna volunteered to act as a chariot driver of Arjuna. This is Krishna's affection. Nobody can display as much affection as Krishna does. These are the 7 oceans of Krishna. We need to immerse our minds in the 7 oceans of Krishna. Means we need to think about these 7 qualities of Krishna always. That's what manmana means. That's what Krishna consciousness means. That's what Smartavya Hasatam Vishnu Vismartavyo na Jatachit means. With this, exactly 12:30, we'll conclude. Rithra Shrimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai. We have Aarti now. I don't mind taking questions, but Aarti will go on when we are taking questions. I'm okay.
So, there's karunya and there's audaya. Both have like sense of compassion. What is the difference between? Is there a difference, or is it just two?
Yeah, there's an overlap between the words, more or less same, but probably Audarya is little extra compassion, deeper compassion, Audarya, but they're almost same. Any other? Yes, Mataji.
Probably in the beginning you said sometimes we invest our emotion or feeling in someone and the other person may not
Reciprocate,
or
may not have the ability to reciprocate.
Yeah. So may not have the ability is one thing, but if the other person doesn't reciprocate,
no intention
no intention of reciprocating, or they're not reciprocating at all, do we still go ahead and invest the emotions in that person, or we just maintain the respectful distance?
When Prabhupada came to the Western countries, who reciprocated with him? How many people reciprocated with him? But he's compassionate, right? So in general, we need to be compassionate and kind even towards those people who may not reciprocate with our compassion or kindness. That's a general expression of emotion, compassion. But when it becomes too specific and personal attachment, personal bonding, then it's an entanglement. You see, you are kind and compassionate to all people, and with that compassion, you are distributing prasadam or distributing books or preaching Krishna consciousness or doing something out of your compassion. That's general. Although there is not much reciprocation, you are giving a class there in a preaching program. Not many are reciprocating with your class, but still, to please Narada Muni, to please Guru Parampara, okay, let me just speak Harikatha. That's what Prabhupada was doing in initial days. 5-6 decades back, that's what was happening. So that is generic expression of emotion, where your primary emotion is towards Krishna, primary emotion and attachment is towards Krishna, and you want to transmit that Krishna's compassion to common people. You are a transmitter of compassion. But there is another kind of emotion. This emotion of compassion is one level, where you are representing Krishna's compassion. But there is another thing. Personally, we develop so much of attachment towards somebody. They are not reciprocating. And we are like too much infatuated with that relationship. We are too attached to that relationship. There is no reciprocation. There is no intention to reciprocate. It could be an entanglement. If it becomes too specific towards one individual, right? If it is a responsibility to take care of them, we may have to do it, although there is no reciprocation. This is my duty. So that emotion will come little down to duty platform. As a matter of duty, you may do that. But our attachment should be to Krishna. And when we are attached to Krishna, we want to transmit Krishna's compassion towards everyone and inspire them to get attached to Krishna. That's what a devotee does generally. Does it make sense?
Yes.
Yes. So, okay, let Prabhu speak. Yeah.
No, I got two questions.
Okay, one again second. That is also fine.
Thank you, Prabhu, for your such a wonderful class. You mentioned about Putana. In the case of Putana, when she dressed like a mother, but she did not have the attitude or the intention of being a mother. Now, we have been told or we have been instructed that your bhav is very important, no matter how you dress like or how you behave like. So, could you please explain in detail that what is more important? Is the way that you dress like a Vaishnava, but your bhav is not good, or you maybe
we discussed it in the class. Definitely Bhava is more important and Krishna is Bhavagrahi, undoubtedly. Sometimes, especially in Vrindavan, Krishna becomes too desperate that even at the cost of ignoring the bhava of the person, he will show mercy. But generally speaking, our approach should be with a positive emotion. That's how we began our class also. Manmana, not like Shishupal, not like Hiranyakashipu, not like Kamsa. Manmana, like Bhakto, Bhava Mad Bhakto. We have positive emotion towards Krishna. Manmana means always thinking of Krishna, but with a negative emotion also you can think of Krishna. But Bhavamat Bhakta means you become a devotee and think of Krishna with a positive emotion, with a spiritual emotion, with loving emotion. That's the recommendation. But if Krishna shows some mercy upon somebody, although they don't have the right bhava, right emotion, that is extra bonus for them. But that should not slacken our mood. Okay, this is what is expected from us, and let's stick to that expectation and then worship Krishna with a positive emotion, loving emotion, and refine our bhava, our emotion, our intentions, right? And Krishna will reciprocate. But if Krishna is reciprocating with someone who may not have the good intentions also, that's extra bonus for them, extra mercy upon them. That does not mean that we also become like Putana. Putana came with a motherly attire. Let me also dress myself nicely. Let me put my tilak nicely. Two parallel lines, not slightly like going like this, like railway tracks. And dress should be very nice and Kantimala should be visible. It's not about dress only. It's emotion, it's intention, it's consciousness. That's what ultimately pleases Krishna. But if Krishna shows some extra mercy upon somebody who doesn't have all that, uh, that's his choice. Let him do that. You can't expect him to do that for you. Right? Let's not be carried away by these incentives. And acharyas very clearly say that when Krishna is in Vrindavan, he's extra merciful. When Krishna is in other places, he is normal. His mercy is like normal. When Krishna appears as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, is even more merciful. Audarya. Okay, thank you. Yes, Prabhu.
So thank you, Prabhu, for your class. Manmana Bhava Mattas always think of me, right? Like always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. So while chanting, do we think about these pastimes or these 7 qualities, or do we focus on just the name?
The name.
How do we?
The name of Krishna, Nama, will eventually give us entrance into Rupa, Guna, and Leela. When we sincerely chant, when we chant with focus, with concentration, Radha Natavara Radha Natavara Radha. We are chanting the names of the Lord, Radha Natavar. But that Natavar can immediately give you entrance, or immediately or gradually give you entrance into the form of the Lord, Rupa of the Lord. Oh, Natavar. One leg is up, one hand is like this, little different from other deities. When you're chanting the name Natavar, the form of Natavar will manifest in the mind, right? Nama will give entrance into Rupa. Nam will give entrance into Guna also. Immediately, oh, how artistic Krishna is. Now, this form will immediately remind you of a Leela of Krishna. Krishna danced like this on the hoods of Kaliya. You are just seeing Krishna, Radha Natavar only. You may not, now you are in temple hall, you are able to see the form, but outside temple hall you may say Natavar. That utterance of the name Natavar will remind you of this form of Natavar, will remind you of a Leela of Kaliya Leela, for example, where Krishna danced like this in perfect sync, without slipping on a slippery stage, is dancing. And also it will make you enter into a meditation on Krishna's gunas also, qualities. How merciful Krishna is towards Kaliya. Although Kaliya tried to kill him by biting him on his chest, Bhujaya Chachada. But Krishna gave the dust from his own lotus feet on the head of Kaliya. How merciful he is. Krishna allowed Kaliya to embrace him for 48 minutes. For one muhurta, Kaliya was completely arresting Krishna in his coils. It's an embracing of Krishna. Did he get an opportunity to embrace Krishna for 48 minutes? But Kaliya got, even with a negative emotion. So just that one name, Natavar, Because we're standing in front of Natavar, we are speaking that. Now that just that one name Natavar can just allow you entrance into Rupa, Guna, Leela of Natavar. So when you are chanting the holy names of Krishna, you focus on the holy names, focus on Nam, and eventually that meditation, that focus on Nam will give you entrance into Rupa, Guna, Leela also. It becomes complete. Any other question? Yes, Prabhu, your second question.
Thank you, Prabhu, for allowing me to ask the second question. You did mention about remembering Krishna. We do hear a lot from other speakers too. But could you please elaborate what is the science of remembering Krishna every time or all the time? I know you know the slokas, Yam Swan Bhava Tirchandi Kalavaram. However, if you don't mind, can you explain a little bit like why should and what is the science behind it? As we do, like when we do
What is the process behind it?
no, what is the science of remembering Krishna all the time, or at least once or
That
twice?
is Krishna consciousness. We need to be conscious of Krishna, and we need to be less conscious of this material world and our own bodily self. So we conditioned souls are generally in bodily consciousness. They think of hundreds and thousands of things which are disconnected from Krishna. They think of Maya, they think of material body, they think of their power and position and privileges, they think of their desires. So the thoughts, the mind's activities of thoughts, desires, feelings, and willing and emotions, they're diverted towards so many other things disconnected from Krishna. To bring the mind from all those things and focusing on Krishna is Krishna consciousness. That's the importance. And how do we come to that stage of remembering Krishna? By hearing about him. Yadanud yukta karma granthim nibandhanam. Chindanti kovidastasya ko nakuryat katharati. When you have katharati, when you have attraction towards hearing Krishna's pastimes, Namarupa Guna Leela, that will help you remember Krishna. And that remembrance of Krishna will destroy all the attachments to this material world. Karma Granthi Nibandhanam. Granthi. Our every interaction with this material energy, with this material world, our interaction of our senses with different sense objects, that is just putting a knot. Granthi, Granthi, Granthi. Hundreds and thousands of knots. Right? If it's like 1 or 2 knots, the 1 knot is here, maybe you can just slowly remove it. 2 knots you can remove. 3, little difficult. 10, my God, too much. 100, can you ever remove it? 1000, you cannot remove it, you can only cut it. So karma granthi nibandhanam, because of our false ego and material activities and ignorance, we have thousands and thousands of knots to various aspects of this material world. To destroy all the knots, to cut all the knots, we need to remember Krishna. Yadanudhyasina yukta karma granthi nibandhanam. Remembrance of Krishna will destroy all our knots towards fruity baggage. And that remembrance of Krishna is possible by katharati, hearing Harikatha regularly. Ko nakuryat katharati. Make sense? Any other question, comment? We conclude?
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.